Hey bro, are we sponsored by Nike SB?
I wish. That would be fucking crazy.
Imagine fool, Chulo the Buddha rocking like a Nike.
Well, he's rocking Supreme, my bad. Supreme Dunks. Those are Supreme SB Dunks.
Yeah, for sure. But we just had to remove the Nike sign.
Yeah, of course. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Then we got the angle already? That's the angle already?
Let's go, big fam. Show starts in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited to have my boy SGN in the house today. Thank you so much, man, for making the trip from Pacoima all the way to HP. We're just going to chop it up about life today, the book, and maybe possibly where we're going from here. But how you feeling, bro? How you doing? How you feeling?
Sheesh. Hey, I'm having... Well, first of all, thanks for having me, man. What up, Drippy Faucet fam? I'm excited to be here. This is what, episode 50-something, is it?
Episode 57.
57, guys. If you go back into the archives, I was the second one, right?
Yes.
I was like the second interview ever, so this is kind of trippy, man. I'm great. We're blessed. We co-wrote a book, as you guys know, so good times, bro.
Mega good times. How was the trip out here? Was a lot of traffic or?
Nah, the drive is fine. You just have to take the 210 west, like you go like down the Dodger Stadium side. It was like 37 minutes.
Damn.
So that's not bad,
so
bro.
like today was literally like one of those days where the freeway is peaceful.
There was an accident.
There was an accident?
Yeah, there was a little
and
accident.
And you still
37 plus like 10 minutes. I left my house at like 9:15. So it was like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So, a little accident. I mean, it wouldn't be LA if there's no accidents. You feel me?
Wouldn't be LA without no Mexicans now.
Yup.
Hey, just kind of like briefly thinking about Tupac, man. Like, are you more of a Biggie or Tupac guy?
Damn, this guy always with the $1 million questions. To be honest, I like to think I'm a Tupac guy because I'm from the West Coast, but I'm definitely a Biggie guy. To be honest, that's why I find myself bumping more. I mean, obviously, you bump Hit 'Em Up whenever you're drunk or something, or you're angry, right? Or Dear Mama is always on the radio or something, so you appreciate that song. But to me, man, nothing slaps like a lyrical live from Bedford, Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. Gats, I pull it. Fastest ducking when big be club. You know what I mean? Like, he was just lyrically, to me, superior than Pac. Pac had more like the content that pulls at your heartstrings, whereas Biggie had the content that just smacks you lyrically, like bop 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 bop. It's like a lyrical drive-by. Biggie's like AR-15s. If this was like a video game, and Pac is like rocket launchers. Pac is just popping off with the RPGs, and Biggie's more like the ARs. That's how I see it lyrically.
So what you're saying is that if you're like head of the military, you want to utilize both. And be strategic about like, well, right now I want to go ahead and feel this way or attack this way. But at the end of the day, it's like you don't want to just be like a one-dimensional, rap listener or admirer of the icons.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to be a conscious rap elitist.
What's that? I think you are definitely one of those people who are kind of like on that tip. Where you're like, nah, fuck all the other bullshit, fuck all that trap music.
I think...
Why are you like that with music?
Well, I would say that I'm not an elitist. I wouldn't consider myself a conscious rap elitist, but I'm definitely someone who knows how to clearly distinguish between bullshit and Like that's cool and it's hot right now.
Yeah.
But I think it speaks to like... I don't know. I think it's context. I appreciate both. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate trap music in the sense that like it feels very gutter, very raw, very like in some random fool studio garage, and I like that. It's a very raw, what's the word I'm looking for? Like unadulterated. You know what I mean? Like no one's fucked with it.
There's no filter and shit.
There's no filter, which is cool. I like that. Because I feel like this is kind of our book. So I appreciate that energy, but I also believe that there's an important place. It's a much smaller space for grown shit, like Mos Def, like Talib quality, like J. Cole shit. You know what I mean? I don't think it's either or. It's like the army. You need the grown fool who's gonna tell you like that's a stupid move, bro. Don't make that move. And you need the young fool who's like, let's get it. You know? You need both. And I think if it's just trap, you're gonna be in this like loop of like, okay, that's cool, just sipping lean and going to the strip club, and that's cool. Maybe someone's doing that, but you also need that intellectual, I think, stimulation. Like you need both at some point. You can't live and die by trap. You know what I mean? At least I don't think.
Hey, live by the trap, bruh. Hey, well, I love that you kind of like compared our book to that trap lean, but I want to add a little component to that where it's like, do you remember?
It's trap intellectuals.
Yes, which.
So it's not.
No. It's going to get to my next point, which is, do you remember J. Cole's most newest album? The one where it's like, where he talks about,
For Your Eyes Only?
No. The most recent one? Yeah, the one where, fuck. I'm going to have to Google this. Give me a second.
Yeah.
So let's go, because I'm sure you're very familiar with it. J. Cole's new album.
I'm not familiar with it. If he has a newer one, then.
Lewis Street.
KOD.
Oh, right.
So KOD, he has a bunch of songs where essentially like he's bringing in that new school trap kind of feeling to it,
right,
whether he's being
trap.
ironic or not.
Yeah.
But he threw in hella consciousness into that.
Right.
So when you brought that up, I was like, yo, dude, like, are we really like kind of stepping into that J. Cole like-ish energy in life where it's like, I love the streets and I've been influenced greatly by them, but I also don't want to just ditch the streets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to find a way to impact them, but more than impact them, like be them, but also not take on their identity fully because that's not who I am, right? But in that quest again, right? Like that's why a lot of people don't really like J. Cole because they're like, oh, he's too woke, he's too conscious, man. Fuck, you know, I want to fucking party, I don't want to go to sleep, right? Everyone's always hated on him like that.
Yeah, facts.
So I feel like there's a strong component of our book
that's like that.
J. Cole-esque.
Yeah. Well, I think that's good for J. Cole, right? Like the more you hate on, I mean, you can hate on him all you want, but your girl's still listening to him. You know what I mean?
Sheesh. Be careful, gentlemen.
Right? Am I lying though? I feel like a lot of his following is like fools that are like kind of like on the smarter side of things, as far as like not trying to be ignorant, or at least not willfully ignorant. You know what I mean? Because there's ignorant fools that like when you just don't know, right? You're young, you just don't know. I can respect that, you know, because you don't know. But then there's willful ignorance where you know the right way, but you choose to remain ignorant. There's a big difference in psychology, right? Between ignorance and willful ignorance. So I think we are doing both, man. But I don't think it's necessarily like trying to like tap into two worlds. Like we are very clear on who we are. You know what I mean? Like we are educated fools who got lucky. Like we got, like our circumstances led us to attain a higher education, and we were blessed for that. Our circumstances led us to where like we didn't necessarily have to trap or engage in any illegal activity to get our daily stats.
Our bread, homie.
To get our money, right? So I think we got lucky. That's how I think. I think we got blessed, fortunate, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, like we understand the streets because many of our friends and people maybe close to us grew up in that lifestyle, and so I feel like it's more of like we're just showing you a picture. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this is what particular upbringing in this type of environment looks like, and this is how you could kind of like hack it. You know what I mean? Like, I think this book is like a book of hacks.
Are we calling it a brain hack, bro?
A brain hack, a life hack. I call it life hack. Little life hacks. And that's why we wrote it, right? I think the more we talk about it, it's been a year, a year since we started it. It's only been a few months since it's been out. But we talked about like a lot of the self-help industry is bullshit. Just talking to like middle-class educated people who are already on that path to making it anyways. You know what I mean? They already got a career. They already have their like retirement plan all set up. You know, they invested in crypto 10 years ago. They have mutual funds for like 20, 30 years. Everything's set. So they're just looking to level up. That's cool if you're there, but that's not who we're talking to. We're talking to somebody who's like on the verge of self-destruction or on the verge of greatness. You know what I mean? At least I feel as though that's what we did here. You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, I know exactly what you mean. But hey, man, I think that's beautiful. And I hope more people can really tap in a sense where they begin to actually see not only the value in our book, but in the value of reading. Like, it's never overrated. It's never overrated, this idea of like liberation, this idea of like finding your lane, being free. And literature, guys, is without a doubt, like, for real, like, if you had to think about a tool that you were going to go to war with, like, everyone thinks about a tool. Some people might say a knife, some people might say a gun, some people might say a shotgun, whatever, right? In today's world, I want to go to war with literature. Because we want to step away from the world of, like, warfare where it's all physical. Right? Because we're not allowing ourselves to be more expansive, right? We're not allowing ourselves to increase our frequencies. On the other hand, if you start choosing to engage in warfare with literature, with your mind, with ideas, now you're in a whole different plane. Now you're no longer fighting with the little elementary kids, right? To see who's gonna take the swing. Now I'm trying to fight for who's going to take the block. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's this open space of land. Who's going to take it? Right. It's going to be the food that has the most cash and the better ideas. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just trying to tell people, like, it's not about me trying to sell my book. It's about me trying to sell you the idea that reading is going to help you grow your life exponentially, bro.
Facts. I agree with that 100%, man. Like, I read somewhere this idea that leaders are readers. Readers are readers. And so for me, I have this very kind of delusional idea that one day I will be fully financially free. I don't know how likely that is to happen, but I have some ideas that could potentially lead me there, and I'm going to work towards executing those ideas. But in my journey of reading and engaging in literature, I've come across a lot of like billionaires, you know what I mean? Like the Warren Buffetts, the Bill Gates, right? And the Elon Musks and the Jeff Bezos. And irrespective of how you feel about them politically, socioeconomically, so on and so on, there's a very common theme, and these fools are very intellectually curious. They're very committed to researching like the best of the best in their respective fields and seeing how they're moving, and then either replicating or improving upon those moves, right? And so what does that mean for us at the ground level here? Maybe you're trying to go from like middle class to upper class, or from working class to middle class, or whatever your goal is, start your own business. I think it means that you can't be afraid to access knowledge, especially if you don't have the capital. Like if you don't have the money to travel somewhere, like say you want to learn about a particular cuisine in Mexico because you want to start your restaurant here, like some type of specialty restaurant, but you can't really travel to Mexico and do all that because maybe you don't have the funds, right? Read about it, bro. You can read about it. It'll cost you $10 and you'll be exposed to like a wealth of knowledge in that field. And that's really kind of how I learned really, or we learned how to self-publish. You know what I mean? We just read up on it, we did our research. It wasn't like no one held their hands. I was like, hey, this is what you have to do. There was definitely no corporate sponsor. And we talk about the internet a lot, right? The internet has democratized information to the point where like you don't need to go to mom or dad or the teacher to find something out. Would it be ideal to have a mentor or a guide? Yes, it would. It's always better to study with someone, but you don't have to anymore. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the advantages that we do have as millennials and Gen Z, because it's easy to be like, oh, this generation sucks, right? The housing market sucks for us, the labor market sucks for us, and it does, but you also have a tremendous opportunity that if you just focus on what sucks, you might miss out on being that like young billionaire CEO.
Big facts, bro. And I love the fact that you brought in the idea of that knowledge. Well, you said information, right? Information is democratized. facts. However, just information is not knowledge, right? Because you can have some bullshit ass fake shit, right? And so it can take you a certain way. But when you're able to utilize this information and it's applicable to your life, it becomes knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? So now that information and knowledge have been democratized, knowledge equals wealth. Right? So not only have we democratized knowledge, but we've also, through the internet, democratized the wealth. And honestly, bro, that's what people are not paying attention to. It goes back to your idea of being self-taught. You can become a fucking genius editor by just watching hella YouTube videos and then practicing and then learning on your own and then allowing your curiosity to just fucking take you somewhere and then just continue to grow and then meet new people, enhance your network.
Right.
And then before you know it, you're just like, holy shit. School currently is a fucking disaster, right? Because we're not, at least not many schools. I mean, I know that there's teachers all over the place trying to do their best, and of course, you know, I got their back and all this and all that. But, dude, we are not preparing these kids for these 21st century skilled jobs that they're going to need, which is, again, being the fucking influencer, being the YouTuber, being the TikToker. Like, people think it's a joke.
So let me ask you a question, because I agree with you. Why do you think that society is so resistant to the entrepreneur, the solopreneur, like kind of like the lane that we're going into, right? Like, because this book could easily get us to retire from the classroom if like I don't know, you know, shit happens all the time, right?
It
like
could blow up.
A famous person likes your book and they show it on their page and then 1,000 orders, or I don't know, whatever, 20,000 orders, and that's like $500,000,
so on and so forth.
$250,000, and then boom, now we have the capital to buy ourselves out of our jobs, right? Because that's what you do, right? You don't quit your job until you can make equal or more money, right? Or at least ideally, right? That's ideal. So why do you think our society at the moment, even though we have, it's not even dozens anymore. It used to be dozens, like 10 years ago it was like this guy, that gal, this person, that person, right? That was like a YouTuber, a Twitch streamer, TikToker, influencer, who wasn't from Hollywood and who doesn't come from like a rich family. Now it's like hundreds of people. Hundreds, maybe thousands.
Thousands, for sure.
Thousands, right? Why is our society so resistant to the solopreneur digital content creator idea?
So you said society. You know, that's a very, very, very broad. I'll start at school. I'll start with like school.
Yeah, I mean like, you know, parents and boomers and Gen Xers and, you know, teachers, administrators, like people in those corporate. Maybe I mean to say like the older generation.
Yeah, I spoke about this in one of my posts.
Okay.
And so
unpack that for us,
So 19 Keys, he shared something very insightful with me, which was like, we need to stop being realistic. That's realistic. That's realism. Telling a kid to go to college and get a degree in biochemical engineering, not because of the passion and love for science, but because he's going to be able to get a really kick-ass STEM job afterwards, even though he's probably not even going to be utilizing that knowledge. He's just going to be doing some sort of menial office managerial work or something like that, right? But that's the point, is that we live in a society where everyone's just realistic. Don't dream. Be realistic. Don't pursue that NFL career. Be realistic. Don't pursue that rapping career. Be realistic. So
don't write a book.
Be real.
No one's gonna buy your book, bro.
And we have. So, but then he draws a distinction. There's a difference between being realistic and being real. He says, when you're real, you're true to yourself. Our soul, our spirit, our heart, our mind. Some of us have these strong urges and desires to do brilliant, powerful, impactful things in society. You're telling me that that's worth less? How? I cannot seriously look a child in their eyes and see a burning desire within them and be like, nah, bro, just be a teacher. You know? A kid who clearly demonstrates a passion for the arts, whether it be theater, whether it be painting, music, and it's genuine, it's powerful, they're talented. How can I look them genuinely in the eyes and be like, you know what, Tim? I think you should decide to be a cop instead. You know what, Tim? I think you should be a firefighter instead. You know what, Tim? You know, like, that's what society does. Everyone's rooted in this, like, reality of the 60s where people were graduating from college, or not even graduating from college, graduating from high school and getting into, like, these really good jobs. They'd get their nice little cars, their nice little homes. Before they knew it, they got married, they got a nice little dog, and all this bullshit, right? So now, like, you create, like, this false
sense of security.
Yes. But are you really, like, are you being real to yourself?
Right.
I think eventually maybe you buy up your own, perception of what you're doing, and you're like, yeah, this is cool. This I'm a dad now, I'm a husband, blah blah. This is my identity. But then you go 10 years back or 20 years back, and you're like, bro, your fucking drawings were amazing.
Right.
What happened? A lot of things happen. You get a kid, whatever. You gotta work. I get it. I'm not talking shit about people who taking that lane. I never do. I always say this, but that's why, bro. That's why. It's because, like, we have this there's this cloak in society, right, of this extreme realism, where the moment that you start utilizing your imagination, people start looking at you like you're stupid,
that you're crazy,
or that you don't care about your life, or that you're wasting your life because maybe you want to grind it out for 10, 20 years on your dreams. Is it totally possible to not make anything happen out of that? Of course.
I think about that all the time.
Everything is a risk.
I think about that all the time, man. Like, because I spend many hours, like, just thinking and messing around on my YouTube channel, And a lot of it is sort of like this not unfiltered, but this uncurated gaming stuff. I just kind of play. There's really no objective. Like this is like this conversation. The objective is to mine some gems, right? We're excavating gems. We're having critical dialogue. My objective in those gaming streams is just entertainment, right? So I'm just like, am I doing that? And to what degree? So I think about that. Like, is this ever going to turn into something bigger? I don't know. But as you were talking, Fo, I thought about something. And do you think that maybe we're just speaking more to, like, this idea of, or not this idea, but this reality of, like, the privileged creative lifestyle? You know what I mean? Because there's obviously nothing wrong with being a lawyer if that's what you want to be, right? There's obviously nothing wrong with being a doctor if that's what drives you crazy, or an engineer or something like that, right? But it seems to me that from a societal standpoint, we treat creatives and artists as almost like these special beings, you know what I mean? Like, they're doing their thing, right? Like, he's an artist, or she's an artist, or they're an artist. And so, are we maybe speaking to a creative lane that we're sort of like forging our own path in, but this is in a tradition of, like, the writers, like the intellectuals almost, right? Like the intelligentsia. And that's kind of where I'm still troubled, dude. You feel me? Because not everyone, and I'm very well aware of this, like, I try not to give people advice anymore because everyone has different socioeconomic circumstances, right? Like, the reason, I'll speak for myself, the reason I was able to write a book, I would argue, besides the fact that it's like all the pieces were there, to me it was like the pandemic, right? Like, the pandemic bought me time. It literally bought me time. And I'm using the word bought literally. It bought me like 400 plus hours that my boss wouldn't have given me. My district would have been like, sure, here's 400 hours of labor, write your book, we believe in this project.
Fuck no.
Never in a
minute.
When can you imagine that, right? And so, are we creatives because we're putting that energy out there and we're making it work during weekends, evenings? You know what I mean? Or are we, like, forging this path? Like, I'm thinking about that a lot, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think we're I don't think we form part of the intelligentsia at all. I mean, we're not PhDs. I mean, you're working on your master's. I said, fuck all that. Like, for sure. You know, like, I did my 4 years into college because I was under that veil of realism, of having to do something that had to be realistic. Gotcha. And it's a comfortable life. It's a great, chill life. But there's levels, right?
Right.
And if I continue under this path, then I will never really get to those next levels where I want to get to for fun, right? Like when people tell me like, why do I want to do that? Cause I'm having fun with life, motherfuckers. Like try it sometime, you know? And some people will be like, oh, well, that's not a strong reason enough. It's a good enough reason for me. And don't get me wrong, I could be deeper with the reasons, for sure. Right. There's all these socioeconomic and family reasons that I can get into. Right. But why can't I just be honest and say, dude, I have fun creating. I have fun inspiring people. I have fun serving people. I have fun doing this. Right. Why can't I, again, so less intelligentsia road, more forging a path for thinkers, philosophers, creators to also get into the lane of content creation. Right? A lot of the content creation is around just moronic things. Right. You know? Like our fools over there, like our homies over there at Fools Gone Wild. Like, he's a genius. Right. But a lot of it, like, the most, like, cool, like, inspiring shit is, like, when he posts shit about, like, you know, deloteros and defending them.
Support La Raza.
Yeah, you know.
It's like 90% ignorance and then 5% like...
some cool little, like, woke shit here and there about doing things. And trust me, I'm all with it.
All love, all respect,
because it's an entertainment business.
Right.
You gotta do what you need to do to entertain people. And I think, like, we're kind of, like, somewhere in between where it's like, no, I want you to get some shit out of this. Get fucking smarter. Like, do something, like, dope. Right. But I also would like to be entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's like little moments in time here and there. But I do think that, you know, just like J. Cole created his own lane, you know, I think we're kind of on that, bro. I think we're kind of creating a lane of our own.
I haven't found fools like us, bro. And it kind of, I hope I don't sound narcissistic, like, because that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't like narcissistic people. But I can't find, I mean, obviously there are fools like us because there would be our friends, you know what I mean? Our friends and family.
You mean like there's not a lot of us?
There's not.
That we have been able to interact with?
It's either like I'm super fucking on this side of ignorance, where like you're just too far gone, homie, like not even Jesus could save you. And it's like, hello everyone, my name is Marco Pablo Gomez, and today I'm going to share with you the 3 reasons why you should become an aeronautics engineer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are the 2 type of fools that I come across. And it's like, well, I don't want to sit lean and shoot people. Like, that doesn't seem like a bright idea. Yeah. But I also don't want to be Pablo Gomez. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be Pablo. I don't. Yeah. You know? And so I'm like, where are the fools like us? Like who can enter UCLA and feel confident about who they are, because titles and PhDs don't intimidate us because we've been through deeper shit than that, right?
You know who reminds us of us a lot? Do you remember Giselle? The homegirl that would go to Aqua as a sub? She was a Chicana, like.
Oh, she was hood.
Yeah.
She was like a hood intellectual.
Yeah, but she also graduated from Berkeley. Yeah. And not only that, bro, she was a valedictorian in high school.
Her name was Jazel.
Giselle, fool.
Nah.
It's Giselle, trust me.
But it was spelled Jazel, right?
Yes,
Giselle. J-A-Z.
Yeah, but it's like Giselle.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why she and I were so fucking cool.
Her and I would talk about Nipsey Hussle in the lunchroom.
Yes, but here's the thing.
What up, Giselle?
She was humble as fuck, bro. Like, when she would talk to me, she would talk to me like regular as fuck. But I had also seen her writing, and her writing was like, whoa, dude, you're a fucking genius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But again, like, I love just finding people like that, bro. Because again,
Street scholars? What up, street scholars?
Shit! Nah, but we're pretty special, dog. We're pretty like diamond in the rough type shit. Cause like I could go straight street with a lot of like street foods, especially if they don't know who I am and they don't know that I have all this like scholarly information in my head.
Yeah.
Or I can also go. I do less of this now, but I did more of it when I was in college. Kind of go like stronger on the scholarly side.
Right.
But now we're just like, nah, dude, I'm fucking me, you know.
Right. It's coalescing. You know what I mean? I feel like it's coalescing. Like, you know who taught me that was Lee. Lee, I think, is a very special human being in the sense that.
Shout out, it's Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee. He's one of those fools that is very self-aware. You know what I mean? It's very about the community.
Big facts.
Can chop it up with you about any hip hop or rap album, and still know his shit regarding like statistics and how they affect someone. Like he knows his stuff.
Hey, but you know what he told me? Akba taught him all that shit. Akba introduced him to all of the social awareness, social justice terminologies. He's a black man. He obviously knows shit's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
It's going down.
Especially how he was telling me like going into school with a bunch of fucking white and Asian kids doing really well in math or this and that.
Yeah.
So he knows that there's something going on. But it wasn't until he got to Akba, which is why, dude, Akba was literally, I gotta say, whatever anyone wants to say, it was pretty much like as revolutionary as like an educating space can get.
Yeah. And it was a lot that can be said about Akba, man, but there's no question, there was no shortage of revolutionary thinking. But yeah, I think he's a good example of someone who understands very well who they are and is unapologetic about it, like in the sense that, you know, I've never had the courage to wear a hat to work. You know what I mean? Ever. And I've seen Lee wear hats like
all the time.
I've never had the courage to do that. And I think there's nothing stopping me. I don't know if admin would pull me aside and be like, hey, that's unprofessional. In fact, I have a white colleague that I've seen wear hats before. But I don't know if it's just the imposter syndrome, right? Or the insecurity that I still haven't felt it. But little by little, the older I get, the more comfortable I become in my own skin. Like, you know, you start pulling out the hoodies, you start pulling out the shoes, and you start realizing that it doesn't matter how people feel because you know what level of intellect you possess, right? And obviously, I'm not saying that I'm gonna pull up to work like all like poorly groomed, but what I am saying is that I'm okay with redefining the standards for what it means to be and look intellectual. I'm okay with that. Like when you see me, young people at home or homies everywhere, you're looking at an intellectual. And it's okay to believe that someone with a 5-panel hat with really short, with bald hair damn near, is an intellectual. And I think we fall into this trap, right, of like, Pablo Gomez is the intellectual, you know? And I fucking hate that, bro. That drives me nuts. And I experienced a lot of that while I was in the McNair's program, you know, where I got to learn that, like, just because someone's brown doesn't mean they're down with you. You know what I mean? Like, being brown doesn't make you down. Being down makes you down. You know what I mean?
Regardless of skin color.
Regardless of skin
gender,
color.
sexuality, etc.
Facts. And so that's kind of where I as much as I loved a lot of my ethnic studies upbringing, and as much as I love and respect the community that was built in there, that was one point of distinction that I can't live my life strictly through an identitarian politics kind of like way, where like I'm only gonna provide opportunities for Saudis and brown fools that look, think, and act like me. Life doesn't work that way, phone. You're gonna come across white people, Asian people, straight people, gay people. You know what I mean? You're gonna come across ignorant ass people, kind people, and you need to learn how to deal with all of them. So one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in life is don't become the type of person that you wouldn't want to mess with. You know what I mean? And so we talk about being kind to others, right? Well, be kind to yourself, because people who are constantly like, damn, I don't like this fool, or damn, like, why did these fools write a book? Like, who do they think they are, right? That already tells me that you are insecure about something in your life. So I'm always like trying to put because I fall into that, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect. Like, I fall into that all the time, like this idea of like, what do they have more than me? Or why are they doing this and I'm not? And it's like, no. Or you only compare yourself to yourself, to who you were yesterday, right? Jordan Peterson says this a lot. Like, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And I think because, you know, in our communities, there's a lot of like crabs in a bucket syndrome. You know, people didn't really have much in many cases. Like, you fall into that trap, man. And it's a whack place because the scarcity mentality isn't good for anyone, fool. It's not good for, like, there's enough for all of us to eat. We just gotta know how to get it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that made any sense, but I think about that a lot because I used to just be this free spirit, fool. I used to want to talk to everyone, and that's all. It was all, and I learned very quickly that the world isn't like this field of marshmallows. You know what I mean? Like, I would just reach into places, and some of it was just, I guess, my genuine curiosity of the human condition. But then a lot of it, I guess, I just wasn't socialized into realizing that the world is not a field full of marshmallows. Sometimes the world is like a burning hot oven, and if you put your hand in that oven, you're gonna get burned. You know what I mean? And so nowadays, I would say I'm more reserved. Like, I don't really put myself out there. Like, I don't really offer myself or my services to anyone anymore, because I got taken advantage of a lot. You know what I mean? And so now I'm more like, nah, like, you're just trying to take from me, and I know it, but I'm not gonna tell you this. I'm just gonna be like, sorry, I'm not available.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can relate to that, or getting taken advantage of, or someone trying to play you stupid, or just trying to use you, but it needs to be equal, man. There needs to be like a mutual benefit. You know what I mean? Not as far as money or goods being exchanged, but like,
I help you, you help me.
Yeah.
A metaphor that I'm thinking about as we describe that field of marshmallows, I would just call it a field of roses.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. You want to smell everything. You want to see all the pretty colors. You want to run around the park. But what our naivete fails to allow us to understand is that even a rose has thorns. Ooh. So you grab it and you hurt yourself, and then you're like, what the fuck? How?
Yeah.
Well, let's understand that everything that is calling you and beautiful can also hurt you.
Right.
And so let's just be cautious, right? Like,
yeah,
when somebody needs help, let's see what we can do. But let's be cautious, right? When whatever the thing is, it's like,
DMX. Have you heard DMX's quote? Rest in peace to a goat.
please share.
He said, "Trust a person to be who they really are at all times."
I fuck with that quote
He
heavy.
says, "Trust a person to be who they really are at all times." And so I thought about that, and I was like, I'm not gonna trust everybody. You know me, I'm a skeptic.
But what does it mean to you?
But he broke it down, so I know already.
Okay, what did you think before he broke it down? So then we can compare and contrast.
Before he broke it down, what I analyzed that quote as was just give everyone the benefit of the doubt. But that's not what he's saying.
Okay, I want to also say what I think before you share that, because I don't know what he said.
Go ahead.
For me, what he's trying to say is, whatever people show you, treat them as such. Because whether they're being nice or mean or whatever, trust them for who they are. And what they're displaying is exactly who they are. What did he say?
That's what he said, bro!
My boy! No, I was kidding.
That's exactly what he said. He follows it up like this. He says, trust a snake to be a snake. He says, I don't know what he says next, but trust an angel to be an angel. You know what I mean?
I'm going to trust you to be an angel, right?
I hope so. And I was like, that blew me away, bro. Because for a long time, and I don't know if this is childhood trauma, I don't know if this is socialization, I would just give, bro, like myself, just to every interaction, you know, everyone I would meet, like, sure, here, take my sweater off my back, and people would take it. You know what I mean? And not return.
Hey, bro, when you give, people take, man, and that's one of the things that I've learned is to, don't get me wrong, I love giving. Giving is one of my love languages, like giving and receiving for sure. Which is why when I'm in the streets and I feel like someone is in a great moment of turmoil, if I got $5, here you go, boom, and I won't even think about it because it doesn't matter.
Right.
But there's fucking leeches, bro. Like there's some people out there that are literally worse than leeches. They'll fucking like clinch onto your soul, dude.
Damn, homie. That sounds deep. But these clips are gonna be epic. Some people will clinch onto your soul. Damn.
No, it's true. You know, this is why. So you know, mythology. It's all myths, but they come from truths.
Right.
I mean, there's these things that people call the succubus. You know what I'm saying? Like, what exactly we're talking about? We're talking about people who, like, pretty much ruined you, right? Like, internally, like, spiritually. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm very grateful for Marin because, you know, like, on my first year at Aqua, when I took over for Johnson, English Johnson, you know, Marin gifted me a history book, but there was a letter in there. And that letter was very inspiring to me because that letter basically said, like, Mr. Flores, you know, I'm very grateful for you, and I'm very, very happy that you allow yourself to be spiritual in the classroom. And I was like, what? How does my boy know?
Dang.
Because sometimes, bro, I would just go off on these symphonies, you know, as Kanye West likes to call it, it's a rant.
Right.
But I wasn't thinking too clearly about it. You know, I talk about Frederick Douglass, and I'd let my fucking soul go. You know what I'm saying? And those would be the times where some of the fools at Aqua would be like, the fuck, this dude's kind of crazy, but he's kind of speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very glad that, you know, Marie noticed that very quickly in me and allowed me to say very quickly in my career as a teacher to be like, this is okay.
Right.
Versus maybe in another space where you start being all passionate and start ranting on some crazy shit that has nothing to do with the curriculum, and somebody might be like, again, excuse me, like, what type of shit is this?
Right.
And so, you know,
is this standards-based teaching? Where's the rigor?
No facts, you know, or no, it's not that it's not facts. It's just that it's sometimes the soul is not always aligned to the economy.
The standard.
And let's be honest. I mean, our institutions, our educational institutions, literally see children as just fucking numbers, dude.
Right.
Like straight up numbers. I don't give a fuck who you are, where you ranking, like.
And teachers are just cogs in that machine.
100%.
As much as, like, I think there are well-intentioned teachers in the classroom, like
many
really trying to make a difference. It's not set up for the individual and collective success of the community writ large. It's set up for those who know how to play the game, for those who know how to lesson plan, for those who know how to turn in the assignment. You'll be fine. You'll do well.
And nothing ever changes, and everything just keeps flowing as usual.
And it's just like, here's our, we're gonna change a couple of adjectives, right, in the vision statement. We're gonna paint this wall, green.
Yeah.
And most deaf, right? Same shit, different arrangements.
Shit.
Put you in the yacht, but won't call it a slave ship. And so for me, it's like, I've seen that before. I've seen it. Like, I had the privilege of being at
Put you in a yacht, but don't call it a slave ship.
Yeah, so I've seen it, and so for me, like, I remember Marin would ask me early on in my career, like, or not ask me, but almost suggest it, like, or try to train me for it, like, hey, you should be a principal, And I was like, I can't, man, I can't. He was like, why? He's like, and I told him, I was like, I don't like to play politics. I see how much principals have to politic, with different different factions of the staff, and I think it's an important job though. You feel me? I'm not undermining.
Sure. No, 100%.
I think it takes a unique kind of very sort of like strong-headed person to be a principal. I'm not saying I'm not that, but I refuse to like feel like I need to
play that game.
I'm not gonna pander to you, fool. Like I'm just more like my book. Like if you feel like this isn't worth $15, and if you feel like if you're gonna come into it like questioning it, like why does Salvi and this Chicano wrote this book, and why do they speak like that, and why is it a burro and this and that? I don't want your money, to be honest. I don't want your money. I'd rather take this book and give it to the homie who's gonna open it up and be like, wow. Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm not the type of person to be like, I've told you this before off camera, I don't give a damn about the money. Like Bad Bunny recently said, right? I don't know if it.
All right, Bad Bunny, we know you.
The tickets?
I know you got it like that, motherfucker.
Like, I can't believe I'm comparing myself to Bad Bunny. I need to get off the
No, but it's a fact though. I appreciate that. No, man. I want to meet him one day and just vibe out with him. And see, this is where I'm at too. I'm crazy, bro. Like, I'm at a point where I don't really give a fuck who you are. Like, I'm going to treat you like a man or a woman or whatever the hell you think you are. Just because it's like, these people don't like to be put on a pedestal, bro.
That scares people, bro. But that scares people. Why do you think that is, huh? When a young Chicano, 27 years old, straight out of HP, D1 city champ, or D2 city, my bad, D2 city champs. No disrespect, D2 city champs.
That's a little bit of a reach.
Why does our society, or let me rephrase that, why are people intimidated by that fool? A young, brown, confident fool that knows what he's talking about.
I'm not too sure if I've ever met anyone who's been intimidated by me.
Okay.
You know, but if people were to be intimidated, maybe they never showed it, or maybe like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I thought about that question too much.
I don't mean intimidated in the sense that like they're physically scared or they want to shift away from me. I mean more of like intelligent. Like, why do people become uncomfortable around an urban fool that's intelligent, like a Tupac or a Nipsey Hussle? You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, because I very much view our work. Obviously, I would never compare myself to Tupac or Nipsey Hussle. Those guys are legends.
No, but we're allowed to say that they inspired us.
They inspired us, and I feel very much like I'm in. Even though I didn't live their lifestyle, I wasn't in their industry. I'm in that tradition of do it yourself. Like, don't worry about the suit. Like, let the man in the suit be the man in the suit. You be your own man, and that is okay because your mama raised you. And Jesus still loves you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus still loves you, right?
I like that.
Your mama raised you and Jesus still loves you. So why are suits intimidated by fools like us? And I'm not trying to like wage a war against suits. You know what I mean? That's not my objective. I wore a suit. I wore a suit on my wedding. But why are the suits intimidated by fools like us?
I mean, if I had to kind of put myself in their position, I would probably just think that they can sense that, you know, new economies are coming, and, you know, they're part of the legacy world. And
speak on that. What does that mean?
So this is gonna take me into crypto, but literally, like, legacy world is the financial world as we know it today.
Legacy?
Yeah, legacy
as
world.
in like a legacy that's passed down?
Think about it like that, right? When you think about Fortune 500 companies, or when you think about the S&P 500, these are all like companies that have pretty much been well established in America.
Old money, is that what we're talking about?
Old money.
There
you go. That's a simplified version.
Generational wealth?
Generational old money is the legacy world. These financial institutions that have been rooted with incredible amount of wealth and power for hundreds of years.
Like, you had Berkshire Hathaway in the 30s type age.
That's exactly what it is, right? So when they see a Nipsey Hussle, they're like, what is this street guy thinking that he can hang with us? You know what I'm saying? It's totally a classist perspective.
classism, bro.
And being like, yo, like you have a white tee on and all your chains on and some shorts and some fucking Nikes. Ugh. You know, you gotta be wearing your fucking $5,000 suit in order to walk into the room. You know, so it's literally just classism.
Okay.
You know, and
it's just old school classism. Is just a new iteration of it.
And it's looked at differently, but you know, Nips used to talk about this all the time, right? He would be like, "Yo, man, we got new companies coming into play, right? With these new economies that are gonna do away with the old." And it always happened in the 20s with the speakeasies. There's been all these times in American history where the new money came into play, right. And then eventually the new money becomes the old money. Right? But you can always be an open-minded, old money individual where you put yourself on game so that instead of being the old boomer, right? Because boomer is not necessarily a physical thing, it's more about a way that you act.
It's a mindset.
Yeah, just like in our book, we talk about remaining youthful. So when we're balling at 70, let's look to the youth to funnel some of this into their hands.
You're saying that we don't fall into the same trap, right? Once we gather our generational wealth at 50, 60, 70, we're not falling into the same trap of
trying to exclude
of
the
being
new
gatekeepers.
Class. There you go.
Right? Like the gatekeepers that aren't really throwing us lobs, throwing us opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, the most assistance I've ever gotten, like, from institutions was like financial aid. You know, and that's why I'm never really one of those people that's like super anti-taxes and shit, because I benefited greatly from.
You don't want to abolish capitalism, bro?
Capitalism's cool, bro. Nah, but like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I benefited from these things.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, what can we do to ease it off a little bit, just make it better for people? But hey, I wasn't gonna get into crypto, and I really want to get into it and utilize this opportunity because crypto has been around for about at least 10 years, solid, right? When Satoshi's the creator of Bitcoin.
Wow.
So this motherfucker, bro, is such a mysterious, iconic individual.
Satoshi, is that a Japanese guy?
We don't know.
Oh, okay.
We literally don't know. In fact, there's some people that are saying that he just used that name to make people believe. Because we all know that the Japanese are the fucking shit at technology. So if some motherfucker's like, what if I just pretend to be Japanese? Everyone's gonna think this is some real dope shit. Right? So,
wow.
So here we go, right? This is the beginning of the 2010s. I think it was like 2009 when the first Bitcoiner started mining. Who the fuck cares about Bitcoin? Whatever, some stupid bullshit.
Right.
Fast forward 10 years, and one Bitcoin is $63,000. It really, really, really gives you good perspective, bro.
Right.
So
Tesla just bought a large share, right?
Tesla, a whole bunch of other big time companies, because they see that.
What is it backed by though, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's backed by human social. Social capital, where if you believe in something, it's true.
So it's not an actual, like, it's not like, for example,
like a physical thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not, for example, like a Schwab or a Vanguard mutual fund, right, or an ETF. Like, I know that they're investing into, a combination of industries, right, such as the tech industry or the real estate industry. What is Bitcoin? What industry is Bitcoin in?
So the way that I look at it is...
I know nothing about Bitcoin.
Yeah,
sorry, y'all. This is like a 101 question.
I mean, those are great questions. Like, what is Bitcoin? I think the simplest way that I can answer that question is it's a technology that has allowed people to decentralize themselves from central governments. And essentially what it's done, it's allowed people to kind of create a store of value outside of the United States government. China is a government. So all these different like institutions around the world, and it's all in this thing called the blockchain, right?
The blockchain.
And as far as I know, what the blockchain is, it's basically this thing in the internet that's kind of like this trustless chain of peer-to-peer transactions where every
trustless.
Well, trustless basically means that it doesn't mean that you can't trust it. It means that you can see everything. It's like, transparent.
Okay.
You can see every transaction online if you go to a certain website and you type in the keys of the code. But now, I was gonna share like the more simpler version of like what Bitcoin is. It's basically like the digital gold. And let me bring actual gold into this, right? What is gold backed by?
Government money? I don't know. Bonds?
Nothing. Nothing. It's just gold. It's a mineral.
Right.
Why does it have so much value?
Because the government uses it.
No, that's not why it has value. I mean, the government uses it as a store unit of value. But why does gold have value? Like, why do you look at gold, bro, and be like, oh, hell yeah, some dope shit. It costs money. Not just like genuine. Like, what is your response to that?
I would say because obviously, I mean, it has attached value to it. It's a commodity, obviously, but because I'm assuming you're paying for like the labor involved in it, you know, to mine it and to produce it, and however it's traded. I don't really know how gold works, but
but what you know is that it has value.
Yeah.
So, after thousands of years, human beings said, gold is the ultimate value on our planet.
The gold standard, right?
Yes, because there's a finite amount of resources, right? And so everything that gold is, Bitcoin has done to replicate it, but in a virtual space, in a digital space.
And there's virtually no limits in the digital space.
Well,
are there?
That's the thing. That's why Bitcoin is the number one crypto currency in existence currently, because they put a limit on it. Satoshi was intelligent enough to say, hey, gold has a limit. There's only so much gold on this planet. That's why it has a certain cap amount of money, and that's why it's worth so much. What gives things why do things have value? Because they're scarce. If we had an unlimited amount of resources, then, you know, capitalism wouldn't need to exist. The reason why we have capitalism is because we're trying to create a system that best utilizes the resources around us to whatever extent possible. Of course, there's hoarders and shit like that, but, you know, they took it and now they're hoarding it and we can't do nothing about it unless we fucking steal it, and that's a whole nother problem.
Right.
But like going back to that issue, right? So they made Bitcoin scarce. So now there's only so much Bitcoin that can be acquired, period. So that's why the more people want it, the more it gets more and more expensive.
So you're telling me that when people are buying and trading Bitcoin, they're just trading from the same
pool, from the same pool. And I mean, there's still some being mined, but that's because everything hasn't been mined yet. But once everything is mined, that's
what are they mining, Rod? That's what I don't understand.
I mean, that's a great question. I clearly don't have the answer for that. But
seems like Bitcoin, like it would have been cool to buy like if you had like $500 to $1,000 of play money, which a lot of people do, you know. You could have bought like 10 Bitcoin, let's just say, 10 years ago, and now you'd have been sitting on like $500,000 or so, right? Mm-hmm. So it seems to me that it's just play money, bro. When Tesla buys $5 billion worth of Bitcoin, it's play money. That's literally play money for Tesla. You know, they're nearing on on $1 trillion of overall valuation now, right? So for them, that's just play money. It's almost like I want to make sure that I'm not out of style, right? Like I want to make sure like I got the new chain. So I like Bitcoin. I like cryptocurrency, or rather, I'm fascinated by it. It does fascinate me. I bought Dogecoin.
Nice.
I made like $50 the other day. Like I wasn't even expecting it. But I sold quickly though. I'm like a quick shooter. Like I just buy, make some bucks, and sell. I'm more on like alternative, like long term, like more safe alternatives. I'm a very safe investor, but it's probably because I don't have play money. I don't have fuck you money. Right? Joe Rogan talks about, he's like, I have fuck you money now, right?
Yeah.
And so I think cryptocurrency and Bitcoin now, it's like, that's fuck you money. You know what I mean? Like if you have like 100 Bitcoin, you don't need a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? You can like literally, if I had like even just one Bitcoin, I would probably flip it and just throw it into like 3 really solid mutual funds and just take my dividends every quarter.
I see what you're saying.
Like literally, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's what I do now, and I don't have $63,000, but like get a pretty decent return on certain mutual funds. So, what are some smaller, safer alternatives where people don't have to be day trading? Because that's one of the issues that I've come across with my homies is that like not everyone's a day trader, and what do I mean by that? Everyone can day trade. Everyone has the ability to day trade, but not everyone has the emotional intelligence to handle the fucking anxiety of like, the market in that first hour. The market's crazy for a lot of stocks, right? And a lot of different exchanges. So what is some advice that you have for like the average person that's trying to get into it? Maybe they work at, maybe they're a teacher making, I don't know, 60, 70 grand, like okay money, and they have like a few $100 every month, and they're trying
That's a perfect question. That's a perfect question. Because this is exactly what I'm doing. So I can actually give you exactly like the recipe to utilize.
Okay.
It's called the cost dollar average strategy.
Cost dollar average strategy. Jesus Christ, what is that?
Essentially what it is like if you know for a fact that you have $20, $50, $100, $200 from every check to spare, you can go 2 ways. You can just go ahead and invest for the long term. You don't have to be a day trader. You can just either invest in an ETF or an S&P 500, right? On Robinhood or wherever, and just keep it there forever, every time. It's gonna build.
E-Trade, you have more options.
And over 30 years, that's just gonna be a huge amount of money.
Massive.
Or you can do only crypto, or you can do both. Once you get into the crypto lane, you can put $100 into Bitcoin from every check. And before you know it, maybe 10 years from now, when Bitcoin is...
Wait, I could buy $100 in Bitcoin?
Yes. You okay, so here's a...
I thought I needed 63. I thought I was about to sell my house to buy a few Bitcoin.
So check it out.
Hey, that's some dumb fool moves, huh?
For the past 4 months, I've been taking out $200 out of every check, and I put $100 into Ethereum, and I put $100 into Bitcoin.
Are you seeing returns?
What do you mean by returns?
Or is the value going up?
100%. Right now, there's a bull market. The bull market basically means that everything's just going up, goes down, but it's going up, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. Now, there's bound to be a bear market.
Dips?
There's bound to be, who knows? We could see Bitcoin back in the 20s, we could see him back in the 10s, we could see ETH back in the 200s, whatever.
How much is Ethereum?
Ethereum right now is $2,500.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure if you realize last year it was still in the hundreds, right? So
I know nothing. For all I know is that Bitcoin is at an all-time high, and people are
every cryptocurrency is at an all-time high because it's a bull market. Everyone's buying, everything's going up, whatever. But to go back to the strategy, man, guys, you can start buying sats. They're called satoshis. They're little increments. They're like little baby.
This is not financial advice, by the way.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. Do this at your own risk.
Facts.
But what I also am saying is that the satoshi is like a baby Bitcoin, right? So a Bitcoin is about $60,000. If you have $1,000 and you put it into Bitcoin, as the market continues to be bull market, it's gonna rise, and that $1,000 could turn into $2,000. Now, if you want, you could sell that, and you just made $1,000 profit.
You just throw it back.
And when it goes back down, you can buy it. A lot of people do it like that. I'm not doing that because, quite frankly, let's be honest, I like the idea of trading, but I'm not too sure right now at this point in my life if I am a real trader.
You don't mess with mutual funds?
Mutual funds are one part of that legacy world where it works. It's gonna give you what, an 8%, 12%.
It varies. It can be as low
return.
as 6 to 12.
That's a smart thing to do.
But it's like guaranteed money. But the only thing with mutual funds is that you only see the difference if you have a lot of money in there. You know what I mean? Like you're not, if you put in $100, $200, you're not gonna be too happy about your $2, $3 return. You know. But if you put in like 3, 5, 10 G's, like put it this way, phone. $10,000 in a combination of Vanguard and swap funds can make you easily anywhere between $600 to $1,000 a month. Easy. Only thing though is that you gotta have it, in my opinion, you gotta have at least one account in a Roth IRA, so that you're making 12 G's a year, and then that money's tax free. You know what I mean? When you're ready to pull that out. Obviously, you can't mess with that money though, so don't use your emergency money for that. You know what I mean? That's extra money. So I had a scare. I made a decent amount of money when the market tanked in last year during the pandemic, and so I started using my stimulus checks to just play around with like Tesla and Google and Amazon, and I made a few $1,000, like in a matter of weeks, and then it seemed like Tesla dipped, and then it was on the rise again, but like a month ago, Tesla had like a terrible few days, and I wasn't able to ride it out psychologically, dude. I wasn't able to ride it out, so I literally lost like $1,000. And I don't know what your biggest day loss is, but that was my biggest day loss. And bro, it like ruined my week, bro. I was like, cause I'm not a legacy kid. I was like, damn, I just lost a rack. You know?
Yeah, to speak on that, bro, I've actually lost a lot more money on Robinhood. But
then a rack in a day?
Way more. But I still own the stocks.
So you just hold it?
I'm holding it.
You're a holder.
I'm holding it until I'm able to get back to where I was, so I can get my money out, or possibly even get a profit out of that. You know, so it's not really a big deal. The point is that when it comes down to money, you can't use your heart.
Facts.
Like, I mean, because then you're emotional and you're like, oh fuck.
That's why I don't day trade.
Don't do it.
That's why I don't day trade. So I'm telling you, find your style. Like, if you like that, like, I like my money consistently. So I just literally, bro, I pulled out. Literally, I sold all my stocks. All my Apple shares, all my Tesla shares. Literally sold everything. Disney, you know what I mean? I literally do not own a single stock. And I dumped all of my money. This is my strategy. We'll see in 10 years if it works. I dumped all my money into 3 mutual funds that my homie put me up on. My homie from MIT told me about this 10 years ago. Vanguard, Schwab has excellent mutual funds that consistently return dividends. And I've been winning, fool. I've been winning. Obviously, we'll have to see. I got to report back with you guys in a few months. But I strongly recommend, for those of you who are more on the safe investing side, having a few mutual funds or ETFs.
Yeah.
Strongly recommend.
And I like how you said that, because that's the safe route. And if that's your type, take it.
Right.
Be safe.
You're not gonna make hundreds of thousands of.
Here's what I want to say. It's not sexy, right?
It's not.
It's not like, oh yeah, I'm fucking dangerous. I'm gonna pull over my Lamborghini into tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that's the legacy world. It has its place. I think everyone should be invested in that legacy world because it has its place.
It's easy. That's like easy money, bro. It's easy money.
It is.
It's easy money.
But now, because I'm more of a crazy dreamer.
Right. I mean, you're trying to. I'm cool with the Tesla Model 3. You're trying to get the Lamborghini.
No, it's really not about that. It's actually
like
the reasons for exploring the cryptocurrency world are pretty wonderful. They're pretty amazing, because do you remember the gold rush?
Yes. I wasn't there, but I've read about it.
It was a time period of immense opportunity, but also immense risk.
You're saying this is a gold rush?
Without
a digital
doubt.
gold rush?
I mean, it's been going on for 10 years already. Imagine all the people, bro, imagine the people that put thousands of dollars into Doge when it was nothing. Like, just a fucking pretend coin. It's always been a meme
Bro, Dogecoin.
Yeah.
A freaking 20-year-old homie told me about that. I'm 31, dude. Former student who's now my young friend told me about Dogecoin. And instead of being like, oh, this kid, I was like, okay. So I bought like $20 or whatever. And then that made me 50.
Right.
Hey, what did I do with it? Can you
Send
guess?
it.
And then what did I do with that money though?
Put it into your mutual funds.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. No, that's hella great idea.
That's all I do.
Okay, I was listening to Elon Musk talk about Dogecoin, and Dogecoin literally was created as a meme coin.
It's a joke currency, right?
Completely, like, it has no tech. It has no tech behind it.
So it's not even at Bitcoin's level.
Oh, please. No. So Bitcoin is real technology. ETH is a beautiful, immense technology.
So Bitcoin has a real infrastructure somewhere.
Oh, 100%. Like, there's researchers, there's scientists, there's people that are working on these systems to continue.
So it's a company?
It's a decentralized entity where it's human beings from all over the world that have contributed to its creation.
So who's the CEO?
There's no CEO, bro.
Damn.
This is why cryptocurrency is so beautiful.
So it's mind blowing.
It's decentralized. No one is in control. It's the most democratic form of currency ever experienced by humanity.
What are people projecting 10 years from now? Since you're researching it, what are they saying?
This is gonna sound crazy as fuck to you, but they're saying Bitcoin is gonna get to $1 million.
What? You're telling me I need to take all my life?
No.
You're telling me I need to get my nest egg right now?
No, man. Find your fuck you money and then put it into Bitcoin. Find your fuck you money, bro. ETH right now.
Okay, bro. Hold up. Cause I'm terrible at money, bro, and I'm sure a lot of y'all are too.
Put Ellie on it.
Ellie's all about money. So you're telling me that because I'm putting a substantial amount of
into
money
your mutual funds?
Yeah, man.
Do that, man. That's your lane.
I'm making Schwab very rich. You know?
Yeah.
But you're saying that it wouldn't be a bad move to like maybe split those up, you know, maybe half.
It wouldn't be a bad move to utilize that cost dollar average strategy to start allocating, bro, even $50.
So you're saying that, let's say I put 100 right into Bitcoin.
Yeah,
what you're saying is that if that 100 goes up by, let's say, I'm sorry, if Bitcoin moves up like 2-3% that day, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I get.
It went up $3.
I get 3%
Sure.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that makes complete sense. Then. So it's just like buying stocks.
But what I'm trying to tell people is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are long-term projects where it's possible that, look, right now Ethereum is at $2,000. Dude, imagine when ETH is gonna be, or Bitcoin's at $60,000. And yet I'm going in hard every weekend. Or
so you're gonna be a millionaire in like 10 years.
I probably don't doubt it, bro. I probably don't doubt it. Just out of crypto, I really don't doubt it.
Dang.
Because there's levels to it. There's this whole thing called the DeFi space.
The what?
DeFi? No, DeFi. So I'm telling you, bro. The bankless world is a whole community of basically like super nerds, like super computer nerds that know their shit. And I'm just listening to these super nerds talk, and I'm fucking lost 90% of the time. But I know that they have a great point.
Right.
I'm looking at the data, bro. Data doesn't fucking lie. I mean,
don't lie,
how the fuck are you telling me that Bitcoin was once $10 and now it's $60,000? It's a no-brainer for me to say, you know what? In the next 10 years, there's bound to be many bear markets. It's gonna go down, but it's also gonna go back up. As long as I'm a settler, because some people just come through to the crypto space and they're transients, right? They come and they go when shit gets back. They come and go, they leave, but when shit gets back, they leave, whatever. I'm a fucking settler, bro. I'm settling in
You're
California.
a colonizer, bro. You're an oppressor, bro.
I have to. But But yeah, bro, this shit fucking gets me so excited, bro. And I try to share this with people because the world is endless. But this, dude, I really wanna like hone in that decentralized point. Decentralized means there's nobody telling you what to do. There's another crypto, bro, that I've been researching. It's called Theta. Right now, it's at $12 a pop.
Theta waves?
Theta, it's just Theta. Theta is a decentralized...
$12?
Yes. Theta is a decentralized platform where people are going to be able to stream. Almost like saying like a decentralized YouTube.
Oh, okay.
YouTube is a big boss on a centralized network where they get to tell people what they can and cannot post.
Right.
Theta is that, but fucking in the future on decentralized internets where it's like the Wild West. Everything goes. So I'm going to start getting into that too because it's at $12 right now. I'm thinking 10 years ahead when that shit blows up to $1,000.
Right. When YouTube like has this major lawsuit that puts it out of business or something.
Who knows? Maybe no. The point is that there's space for everything these days.
Right.
Let me see. What's another coin that I've looked at? Tron. Tron is another decentralized internet platform, right? That's not even $1, right? So, dude, you start getting, it's like, so here's the thing, right? I respect Doge because it's making people money, but it's not tech. It's not real tech.
It's not a long-term strategy.
It could be, and that's the crazy thing about the human mind, is that everything we believe to be true and give value to, it eventually becomes true. So even Doge, not being anything, because people believe it's real, could become a real fucking genuine currency. Jeez. So when Doge becomes a real currency because human beings believe in it, imagine all the other platforms that actually have real fucking tech. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm fucking lit and I'm excited because I'm like genuinely in the space now.
Well, put us on, man. Put us on.
I'm about to tell you guys right now. So, go to Coinbase. If you're listening to this right now, not Coinbase. I want you guys all to download CoinGecko. So it's CoinGecko.
CoinGecko?
CoinGecko is basically an app that shares with you everything that's going on in the community. So it shows Bitcoin right now currently at $60,000. It's down 1%. It shows Ethereum, the number 2 cryptocurrency, currently at $2,300, down 1%. Followed by the Binance network, which is currently at $517. Followed by XRP. There's all these different things, right? But essentially, guys, if you guys go to CoinGecko and you click on a certain cryptocurrency, you can then find where it says what exchange market has it. Because there's a lot of exchange markets. There's the so-called Coinbases, Binance, Coinbase Pro, Kraken, Binance USA, all these different things.
What if I'm not that deep into the space, but I do have a couple $100
that you want to spend on Bitcoin, for example,
or stocks or anything, but Bitcoin ideally.
Okay, so if you want to just take it like the easy route, you can download Cash App, and Cash App allows you to
send them $500.
So check it out, bro. Cash App allows you to actually buy Bitcoin on here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Cash App now allows people to buy Bitcoin. So once you buy that Bitcoin on Cash App, I want you guys to go ahead and download a decentralized wallet, a soft wallet. Mine is called Trust Wallet. So you download the Trust Wallet, and before you open up this Trust Wallet, it's gonna give you guys 12 words. These are your seeds. This is your key to get into your decentralized wallet in the internet, right? So if my phone gets thrown into the water, all my money's still safe because my money doesn't exist in my phone. My money exists in a 100% safe, decentralized, basically internet wallet that nobody has access to unless you have those 12 words in order, 1 through 12. So once you download Trust Wallet, okay?
I'm looking like a meme right now.
Check this out. What? Once you download Trust Wallet, you're gonna write down those words in a sheet of paper. If you screenshot it, That's not what you want to do, because then a hacker could get into your phone, and they could get your seeds, and then they could get into your wallet and fucking steal your shit, because they'll just fucking transfer out all the wealth. You write it down in a safe piece of paper. You keep it somewhere safe in your home. Nobody should know except for maybe your wife or somebody else, in case something happens to you and you have $1 million in your crypto wallet. You want them to be able to access it.
Can I transfer that to my bank?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So very simply, there's actually a bunch of ATMs, bro, around the hood. No, motherfuckers don't be knowing this though. But in HP, there's several crypto ATMs, dude, where I can pull up with my wallet, put in the code, and take out physical cash.
Wow.
So that's where we're at today, bro. That's where we're at today. Obviously, you can put this money, send it back to the exchange market, and then once in the exchange market, you can send it back to your bank. But I think I gave you enough information as far as like
straight through Robinhood.
Well, if your money's in Robinhood, you can send it straight to your bank account for sure.
No, I'm saying you can't just buy cryptocurrency straight from Robinhood.
Oh, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, because if you do that, you don't actually own the keys to the crypto. You own the face value of it. And you don't want to own the face value of it. You want to own the actual asset. Like right now, in this little wallet, bro, I own all of those assets.
That's wild.
So as you look through it, it's not much, but all of those assets I own. They're in my fucking decentralized wallet that no one has access to.
So this is like you're like, I'm running away to the Bahamas money.
This is like the government has no fucking clue what I have type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so that's tax free, bro?
We can't talk about that on the camera.
Oh,
Well, again, I'm not your lawyer. I'm not.
I don't know if you want to put that clip in there, bro.
Nah, but the point is like, yo, man, like, this is really the future, bro. Like, cryptocurrency is really the future. It's 100%.
That's a hell of a lot of steps, though, for a fool like me.
You think so? Keep it simple, bro. Let's simplify everything so we can end on a good note.
All right.
Download. I want you guys to download.
I'm gonna write these notes.
CoinGecko.
CoinGecko.
It's an app.
Okay.
And the reason why this is so good is because I always notice on the internet, everyone always says, where can I buy this coin? Where can I buy this token? Right?
Yep, always.
Because Coinbase and Binance USA and all these different things, they're limited. They don't allow you to buy everything. But now, with your own curiosity, you start doing your own research. And maybe you want this fucking low-key ass fucking coin that nobody knows about, but you know it's gonna blow up in a couple years. You click on that coin. Like right now, I'm clicking on
CoinGecko.
On CoinGecko, because CoinGecko is not a platform of exchange. It's not a crypto wallet. It's just a research page.
Okay.
Pure data. It gives you all the news and everything that's going on in the crypto space.
Okay.
Educate yourself. Put in 100 hours into this education before you start making some
Buy this program.
So check it out, right? I just clicked on Tron. Now I'm gonna go to exchanges. Now that I'm in exchanges, it's literally telling me where I can go buy Tron. I can get it on Binance. I can get it on Huobi Global, High BTC. I can get it on Bitcoin.com exchange. I can get it on all of these, bro, are all different forms of exchanges. Now you go to that exchange, you download the app, you set up the account, and now you just start buying shit. So
you told me I have to have all those different apps?
You could. You could. I mean, it's all up to you, bro.
I just want Bitcoin and Ethereum, man.
If you want that, go to KuCoin. Download KuCoin.
KuCoin?
Yep.
It's like cool?
Right here, look. KuCoin.
Gosh.
KU coin. Right? So now you open up KuCoin.
I'm trying to make $1 million, man.
Slow game, right? So you open up KuCoin, and then you go to where it says like fiat. You put in your fucking debit card, and you instantly start buying as much ETH as much Bitcoin as you want. The next step from there is like, if you want it to be ultra safe, then you can either put it into your wallet, the wallet that I showed you earlier.
The Cash App?
No. Cash App is how you buy Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin. Right? KuCoin is an exchange market where you can literally buy a whole variety of different cryptocurrencies and trade them on there. Or you can just do what I'm doing. Buy it for the long term. But the thing is like, you don't want to keep your money on the exchange market, because if they get hacked, you lose your money. Does that make sense?
So Cash App, Bitcoin.
Only Bitcoin, right?
Gotcha.
If you want ETH and Bitcoin, do KuCoin, right?
Gotcha.
So once you start buying it, the next step is to send it to your safe wallet, which would be downloading Trust Wallet.
Trust Wallet?
You download your Trust Wallet, you write down your 12 words, somewhere safe. Now you got your wallet. Now you're able to transfer your assets that you get on KuCoin or that you get on Cash App, and now you send it to your wallet.
Okay.
And so now, once it's in your wallet, it's safe. Or you can also get like a ledger. A ledger is like a hard wallet that's physical. Now you put out your cryptocurrency in this USB drive, take it out. Now it's 100% safe. If you lose it somewhere in your house, you're fucked, right? So this is why we call it the Wild West. Everyone's taking many fucking risks, but I'm with it, and I'm teaching everybody as much as possible, especially my students in high school, because they're the ones that are gonna be able to reap the rewards of these new systems, especially being creative with it, being intelligent with it. Imagine like the super brilliant genius kids that can build their own platforms, their own decentralized platforms on the Ethereum networks, things of this nature. Like, that's really the future, bro. Like 100% future. I don't know, man, if you have any other questions about it.
I'm just mind blown, bro. If I can come up with anything, I'll hit you up. I'm just like, I'm thinking of buying Bitcoin now.
Yeah, dude, honestly, bro.
So I'm just gonna sell my house, bro. Just buy Bitcoin, just get one full Bitcoin.
Yeah, hey, man, I know that we took this kind of like straight into like crypto for like 30 minutes and shit, but I hope that there was something that you gained from it, and I hope that there's something that you guys gained from it, man. But Angel, man, let's kind of just go back to like regular life, you know?
Yeah.
What's next, bro? What's next in your life?
Hey, bro, next. Financial freedom, dog. Financial freedom. I need to get debt free. I need to pay off my student loans. We need to sell 1,000 or 1 million copies of the book.
Million.
Million. We need to sell 1 million copies of the book, and I think just continuing to empower my friends and family, which is my community. So friends and family. So if you want to be a part of that journey, pull up. I would say that's what's next, brother.
Thank you, my brother. It was a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. Just chopping it up, man. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to not only just interact with you, but build with you.
Same, man. Thank you.
See a vision with you, and obviously have you, you know, one of the baddest creatives guys on my podcast. Just sharing knowledge, spitting wealth. Thank you, man.
Thank you,
it's a pleasure for showing up.
Thanks for having me, man.
A good time.
And I can't wait for this food to make 1 million, 10 years. Or a few million.
Yeah.
100 million.
Let's go. Peace out. Peace.